Marry me to my dear soul. Welcome to today's tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this reading finds you at a time you feel open to the vibrations of love. So let's see what we have for us today. I see with the Fairy Wise Man, this is also known as the Hierophant card, that you are being called to look for answers within. So I see with the Fairy Wise Men, that there are some answers that you might be seeking. You might be looking for clarification. You might be looking for confirmation or a sign from the universe. And the universe is inviting you to take a look within, because the answers that you seek already resides within you. And I feel like having this moment to pause, okay? I feel like this card right now is really asking you to pause, wind down in order to find those answers. And I feel like through meditation, through doing absolutely nothing, that is going to help you find clarity. Because I feel like what's happening right now is your mind is kind of all over the place. There's a lot of questions, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of things that you would like answers for. And I feel like it's just so hard to gain those answers or find those answers when there is just too much on your conscious mind. There's way too many distractions, way too many things happening that your mind can't find peace. And when your mind can't find peace, you can't find answers, because then you're already creating a lot of different expectations, a lot of conclusions that you may be drawing, because there's just too many possibilities right now given how chaotic the energy feels. So I see that the universe is really inviting you right now to take a pause, because the answers that you seek lie within. The next card that you have the Fairy Lovers, also known as the Lovers in traditional tarot. I see that this is a very transformational kind of love. This is a very transformational union and connection that you have with your twin, which would make so much sense as to why there is a lot of things shifting. There's a lot going on. The energy is just spread everywhere, and it almost feels chaotic, because this is the part of your journey where you need to filter through these thoughts, these emotions, and it's all about you learning how to be in control of your thoughts and being in control of your reality. And I see that this is meant to teach you how to find peace within. So this card is really speaking to me. I see the symbol here. It is almost like a spiral symbol, as you can see. And this to me represents the circle of life. Life is very cyclical. There are so many different phases and cycles that one goes through, whether they are on a spiritual journey or not. But I do see that this is all about cycles, and this is all about having to control yourself, control your thoughts and emotions as you go through the many different cycles of life. Because again, this union is one that is transformational. This is one that is meant to help propel you on your spiritual journey and on your own personal growth and development. So moving on, we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands talks about a closeness here. So I see that you and your twin flame are not as far as you would think. You both are very in tune energetically. You both are psychically like really close to each other. I also see with the Two of Wands that at this point in your journey, you might feel like you've already reached the top. You might feel like, okay, I'm already here. I've already achieved this and that. So where are the results that I am looking for? So I see here that there is a level of dissatisfaction with where you're currently at. And I feel like that is where all of these questions stem from. They stem from the fact that at this point, in your life, which you may feel should be like the pinnacle of your spiritual journey, there's still a lot of questions that arise because you are not seeing the results that you desire. And so I feel like this is meant to teach you again to find peace, learn how to be in the present moment instead of living in the past or the future. And I feel like these questions are very past based or future based, and none of them are really based on what is happening right now. There's a lot of, okay, like what if this happens in the future, or what if that happens, what if this doesn't go right, or why didn't that happen in the past? There's a lot of these questions that are arising, and I feel like it's really because of this dissatisfaction that you have with where you are currently at in your spiritual journey. So the next card that you have the Fairy King. So what this card is telling me is that now is the time in your journey where you should take a pause. The Fairy King here is also known as the Emperor, which talks about learning how to pause and reconsider. This is the time to take a step back and really assess everything and take a look at the bigger picture. Sometimes when you are too close to the picture, you only see specific details, which is why you could also be feeling dissatisfied with where you're currently at, because you're kind of just looking at the small details here. And the universe is inviting you to take that step back, take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture, because there's a lot more happening. It's like right now, maybe you're too zoomed in, so you're only like nitpicking on the small details that are not coming to fruition or that are not manifesting for you. And instead, the universe is saying, instead of doing that, this is the time to pause, reconsider, reassess, okay? Because if you pause right now, you will be in the present moment. And being in the present moment is going to help you find the answers that you seek. Because in this very moment, in the now, in the present moment, you are able to connect with yourself, with your experience, with everything that is going on around you and within you at this moment, at this point. And so I see here with the 8 of Crowns that you are meant to pause. And I feel like this is the universe's way of saying that if you can weather this storm, then there's always going to be a way forward. This 8 of Crowns also tells me that there may be some delays. So I'm seeing that there is a lot of symbolism here for a pause or for a delay. And I feel like the universe is really trying to emphasize this message. Again, with the fairy wise men, this is about having to pause, learn how to be in the present moment. With the Fairy King, which is also the Emperor, this is about pausing, reassessing, reconsidering. The 2 of Wands, which talks about how you may be dissatisfied with where you're currently at. And then you have the 8 of Crowns, which is that feeling of being stuck, feeling like there's no escape, there's no way out. The universe wants you to know that, again, if you can weather this storm, you can weather any storm ahead. And so there is kind of like a delay happening here. I feel like there is a big shift in energy, and I feel like this is all for your growth. This is all for your greatest and highest good. Again, this is not without purpose. There is a reason why the universe is putting a pause right now. There is a reason why the universe is asking you to take that step back and reassess. So we have some more tarot cards that we will be looking at today. So the card that you have is the Ace of Crowns. So this card is perfect. It perfectly wraps up what I was just saying. As we have seen in the tarot reading before us, we can see that right now there is a pause, and there is a pause for a reason. There are delays happening on your journey. You might feel like the energy is tumultuous. You might feel like, things are just not going in the way that you want them to go, or in the speed that you want them to go at. And so the Ace of Crowns here is confirming that this is not without purpose. There is a reason behind this, because the Ace of Crowns here talks about having greater purpose. I also see here with the Ace of Crowns that Your strength here is one that is meant to be focused on. I feel like the universe wants you to know about the inner strength that you have and wants to remind you that you have already made it this far. You have already gone through a lot of storms. You have weathered a lot of storms. So who's to say that you won't be able or you can't weather this next one? And this next one is a big delay here because I feel like there is a transformation. And I'm seeing as well, this symbolism, it's speaking to me. This is kind of like the circle of life. We're seeing the cycles once again. So I am seeing that, something that is really being emphasized in this reading is the different phases of life, the different phases and cycles of your journey. So I'm seeing here that, this energy is a little bit tumultuous, it's a little all over the place, but just know that there is a shift happening. And of course, you have the moonlit spell. So what this card tells me, the moonlit spell is also known as the moon card, and it's another card that represents or talks about cycles, phases, changes happening. Okay, so I am seeing here that there is a major shift happening for you on your journey, and this is why the energy feels like it's all over the place. This is why you might be feeling dissatisfied with where you're currently at. This is why the universe is asking you to pause, be in the present moment, and reconsider your steps and your journey, your actions and your decisions. That is because you are going through a big change, and I'm seeing that this is a transformative one, as we've seen with the Lovers card. This is almost like it's almost like the moon is casting a spell on you. I'm not saying that this is really what's happening, but just with the name itself, the moonlit spell, I do see that, it's almost like the moon is casting a spell over you, and everything that it touches will fall under its spell. And the spell is the spell of slowing down, the spell of taking a pause, the spell of taking a break. And I see that is what is happening for you. There is this big shift of having to pause because things are changing, things are moving for you. And then you have the one who stayed behind. So in normal tarot, this card actually doesn't exist in normal or traditional tarot. This card is specific to this deck, and this is a very interesting card to me because with the one who stayed behind, the story here is about someone who saw how glamorous this new world or how exciting this new world could be, but they chose logic over emotion. They chose their head over their heart, and they chose that, you know what, I think right now I should just stay behind. And there is strength and there is courage in that decision, because I see here that with the one who stayed behind, the universe is encouraging you to embody this character of being strong and being brave, being courageous, and knowing that it's okay. You don't have to rush into this new reality because it's so glamorous or because it's very enticing. You don't have to fall into that or rush into that just yet. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to assess things. It's okay to evaluate your decisions and see if that is the right one for you. So I'm seeing that the universe here is trying to encourage you through this card and through this story to take that pause, take that step back, and allow yourself to just be. And by doing so, you are then able to, gather the fruits of this journey. I feel like you are able to pick and choose what comes into your life afterwards. I feel like you are cultivating a stronger innate power, I feel. The more calm and collected you are about this situation, and allowing yourself, your innate power to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions, I just see that is really helping you prop yourself up, because you are not allowing all of this chaotic energy or all of these questions to cloud your mind. The universe does not want that for you. The universe wants you to learn how to be in the present moment without feeling too overwhelmed by all the energy that surrounds you. The universe wants you to find your innate power and trust your logic and reason, because that is how you are going to find peace, and that is how you are going to learn how to be in the present moment, and that is how you are going to find your truth. So I am seeing that, this what this reading is really showing me is there's going to be a pause here. It's a big pause, it's a big delay, but this is not punishment, okay? This is not a punishment from the universe. The universe is not trying to say, okay, well, you know what, you haven't been doing a good enough job, so we're gonna delay things. No, the universe is saying this delay is meant to happen. This is part of your soul journey. This shift is this delay, and this shift is what is going to help you transform. So I am seeing here with the Fairy Wise Man and with the Eight of Crowns that this journey of you learning how to be at peace with yourself and finding your answers from within is going to help free you, and it's going to help you brave and weather through this new storm. And though it may be a little bit scary, again, you have the strength, you have the courage. I see here with the Ace of Crowns and the Lovers that, there is a lot of energy here. There's a lot of energy that may be too overwhelming. You might even want to give up. You might feel like giving up at some point because there's just too much change, too much energy, and it could be overwhelming. And the universe wants you to know that you do have that strength within you. You have what it takes to wear that crown. Though the crown might seem big and heavy, it's going to fit you perfectly. I see that this is all happening for you to learn and create this new foundation for yourself. This is all about you learning how to go through the phases of life, the different tides, the different waves on this course of life, and still hold your crown, still wear your crown, still stand on your platform, on your pedestal, okay? And I see that even though there may be a lot of mystery, a lot of uncertainty about your twin flame and about your union and about your journey together, you have what it takes to keep going, because again, you are a lot closer to your twin flame than you even realize. And what I'm seeing here, this is all about you trying to find your innate power, trusting that, and allowing life to take its course. Trust in the universe and allow this shift to happen. The more you resist this change, the more you try to speed things up and avoid this delay or avoid this pause, I see that you are just going to fall back into another soul cycle where you have to learn the same lessons, could be like the harder way. You know how the universe works, but I see that this is really meant for you to develop a stronger sense of self. Be in the present more and be connected to your human body, be connected to your intuition, because not only do we have the Fairy Wise Man, but we also have the Fairy King. So this is the Hierophant and the Emperor. So this is about you learning how to balance your energies, learning how to trust in your soul and learning how to trust in your mind, learning how to balance between spiritual and physical, okay? I feel like this is all about balance. This is all about learning to go with the flow of life, because I see that again, there is a big shift happening here. So this is what I am seeing for you, Divine Soul. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would like to join me in the extended reading where we will be taking a closer look into what this shift could mean for you or what you can expect in the shift, I will leave the link below. Blessed be.